If you don't know anything about coding but want to build your own app, in this video I will show you how to create a full stack web application using Cursor and Claude Code. You don't need any coding experience or any coding skill. I will show you how to do step by step. So the first step is to go to Cursor.com and to download Cursor. So no matter if you are on Windows or macOS, you just have to click on this button here. Once it's done, so in my case, of course, I already have Cursor installed. So this is what Cursor looks like. So you have three options: open a project, clone a repo, or connect via SSH. So we will open a project. So the first step will be to create a folder, an empty folder, anywhere in your computer. Just avoid the desktop folder. You can go, for example, in your documents and create a new document. I will name it Claude Code. You can name it however you want. It will be the name of your project. So now we go back to Cursor and we'll open this project that we just created. So in my case, it's here, Claude Code, open. Okay, so now we have loaded our folder on Cursor. Now we will install Claude Code. So to do so, you will have to run a small command that you can find in the Anthropic docs. I will link in the description the docs. So you have to open a terminal here. Okay, and now you will have to type this command, which is npm install g anthropic AI Claude Code. This will install the Claude Code inside Cursor, because by default Cursor is using AI, but it's using their own agent, which is what we have on the right here. It's great. Especially since their last update, they made a very nice improvement on this. You can use many models, including Claude. You can use GPT-5, etc. But for the agentic mode, Claude Code remains the best. Okay, so once you have installed Claude Code, you just have to run Claude to launch Claude. And that's all you will see from Claude, because Claude lives inside the terminal. There is no UI, there is no application. It's all like this. It may sound a bit tricky at the beginning. To be honest, when I first heard about Claude Code, I didn't want to try it because I was thinking that everything in the terminal will just be boring, but it's actually pretty convenient. So let's say that I want to create an app to schedule social media posts. So I will tell Claude, just need to make sure that you are in the right folder, otherwise it will just create it anywhere in your computer. I want to build a social media scheduling tool. We need to create both the backend and the frontend. So I just type enter to send my message, and I can see that Claude is already starting to work. So I have no idea, to be honest, what he will try to do here in this scenario, because usually I launch Claude Code on existing project with existing code base, and now we are just starting from scratch. So let's see what it will do. So as you can see, he has created a to-do. He wants to set up the project, and initialize the backend, create database schema and models, build API endpoints, create UI. Okay, so here, as you can see, it asks for confirmation. Every time Claude wants to change a file, run a command, or many actions like this, it will ask for a confirmation. So to save time, I will just, you can approve everything for this session. For example here, yes, and I don't ask again for make a dir. So every time it will want to run the make a dir command, it will just do it without your approval. But I prefer to stay with approval, so I will say yes. So I can see here that it has created a new folder. So actually I will have a folder inside the folder, but it's not a problem. Okay, now he wants to run npm init. Again, You don't have to really understand what it does, but currently it's just setting up the server. So I can see I have two folders, backend, frontend. Okay, and now he wants to install Express, Course.env, and JSON Web Token, etc. MongoDB. So I didn't ask it to use MongoDB, but he wants to use Mongoose, which is a database. So okay, I'm okay with this. Express, it's the most common framework for server using JavaScript, so that's perfect. I just keep saying enter. In my case, I understand what he's doing, but you don't really have to understand everything. Okay, I still want to run npm install, so I keep saying yes. Okay, I can see on the left that the backend is being generated. Not mon, okay. So those are very common tools that are being used by almost every servers. So I keep installing. Okay, now it says, do you want to edit? Okay. Again, I trust him. Do you want to make this edit to .env? Yeah, okay, if you want. Okay, so Claude Code is installing a bunch of things, so I will just cut the video for now. I'm not touching anything else, and let's see what it does once it has finished. All right, so we are now like 20 minutes later. It did a lot of back and forth. There have been a few errors, but it all corrected by itself. And it says that the front end is now running on localhost 3000 and the backend on localhost 5000. So I will go to localhost 3000, which is the URL of my front end. So it's here to see what it did. So as we can see, I didn't give it any instruction of what I want, how I want it. So it just created a register page and login page that I can't even access for now because I didn't added the correct credential for MongoDB. So there is two things that I want to do now. I want to create an account on MongoDB to have a real MongoDB database, and I want to also have a landing page for my tool. I also want to tell Claude Code to use shadecn UI, which is a library using Tailwind. You don't have to know everything about it, but it just makes your website look better because currently, as you can see, it's pretty ugly and there is no landing page. So first thing, while it's working, I will tell Claude, I want a landing page and I want to use shadecn UI library for the app and landing page. Aim for a sleek design and attention to small details. Okay, so I hope it will look a bit better because yeah, currently it's ugly. So I just say this, I will make it on auto accept when you will ask for it. And yeah, no matter in the meantime. Okay, so again, it creates a to-do. He wants to install shadecn, create a sleek landing page with hero section, add feature. Okay, so in the meantime, we will create a MongoDB account. So you need to go to MongoDB.com, create an account. So I already have one. And then you need to create a new project. So I will name it Claude Demo. Here you can leave this empty for now. Project owner, it's me. Okay, so now my project is created. Now I need to create a cluster. So a cluster is basically a small servers that will hold your data. So I click on create. You can use the free one. It's only for 500 megabytes, but it's already it's far enough. Location, you need to use the one that is closest to you or the closest to the location of your server. So for now, we don't have any servers, but you can keep in mind for later, and then click on Create Deployment. So now MongoDB is showing us how to connect our app to this database. So you need to copy this. You need to copy both actually. So I just go back to Cursor, accept a few things that you need to accept, and I can see that it has created a .env in my backend folder, a .env file. So I will, in the meantime, and just allow it to approve everything. I go to the .env file here, and I will type MongoDB user. Sorry. MongoDB user and MongoDB password. Okay, and I will copy those two here. Okay, and now I click on Create User, choose a connection method, close, okay, and I click here on Connect. And here, so on Connect, so I click on Drivers, and here, as you can see, I have a connection string, so I can copy this, just approve, and here I will write MongoDB connection string, and I will just replace the placeholder for the password here with the correct user, with the correct password. Right, so we are again a few minutes later, and Claude Code managed to create a landing page. It's still pretty ugly, but at least we have something, and it uses Shadcn UI. So as you can see, for example, the sign-in form is a lot better. I think it's the same for the sign-up form. So now I will tell Claude Code, please use in the backend, please use the Mongo connection string from my .env file to connect to MongoDB. This way, we will be able to use the cluster that we just created earlier, and so we can get a real database, because currently if I try to create an account, it won't work. Claude Code finished the MongoDB integration, so I managed to create an account, so I can now sign in, but as you can see the dashboard is still horrible, but now we can log in, so it's already a first step. So now of course I will ask Claude Code to make a dashboard that is not that ugly, so I will just tell him the dashboard is horrible. I'm someone really honest. Is absolutely horrible. It's even worse. Absolutely horrible. Please make a real dashboard using Shadcn UI. So this will again take a few minutes, but I think you have the idea. So we now have a working application. It's still imperfect, far from perfect. There are many design and many features to add, but you get the idea. You need to go step by step, and in this video you've seen how to create a MongoDB account, how to connect it to your app so you can get a real database. This is the tricky part of Claude Code, because it's really powerful, but it requires some setup. And there are actually some easier alternatives that you can use. For example, there is Capacity.so that we have created, which is a lot simpler. You just have to type your idea here, what you want, and you click here, and it will create the app for you. You don't have to set up almost anything except maybe a Supabase account to get a database, but it does everything. You don't have to install anything. It just takes a few minutes and you have a first version of your app. So I can't make this video more longer because we are already at 15 minutes, But to summarize, Claude Code is really good, but it requires some involvement. If you want something easier, you can use Capacity. The biggest advantages of Capacity is that you can publish your application in just one click. You click on the publish button and it's live. You just have to connect your domain name, but it's really easy. With Claude Code, in opposition, you have to deploy your application on GitHub, then deploy it on Vercel, and you also need to deploy the backend on another server on AWS, for example, AWS. So it's more challenging and requires more work, but both are great solutions. Claude Code on one side is a bit cheaper. Capacity is a bit more expensive, but a lot more convenient for people who don't know much and who don't want to spend hours installing stuff on their computers. Because also on the first step, I forget to mention that you might need to install some packages on your computer if you don't have already, like NPM and stuff like that. So I'll make probably another video on how you can deploy your app on Vercel and how you can deploy your backend on AWS, sorry, it's the French word. So yeah, that's all for today. And if you have any question, make sure to ask in the comment. I'll be really happy to help you to deploy your Claude Code app somewhere, and happy to help you to build something, because no matter which tool you use, there is so many things you can build with those AI tools. It's just crazy. So do not hesitate, I'm here to help, and I'll see you in the next video.